So what is detox really about? Detoxification is more than just the elimination of toxins from your system. It's so much more than that. Actually, the body is always detoxifying itself. It's true that in today's world, we gather a lot of toxins. We accumulate a lot of toxins in our tissues. But most people have far more than just toxins in their system. We have weakness. Weakness occurs on many different levels. It occurs in different organ systems, different structures, different tissues, different levels. And to work through all of these levels takes a long time. Now, some of you might not want to detox until the ends of time. Some of you might not want to go into long water fasts or dry fasts or even fruit fasts. So some of you are more comfortable with certain levels of detoxification and others deeper levels of detoxification or less deep levels of detoxification based on your preferences. But one thing is true, most people do want to detox to a certain degree. So what do you need to do to effectively detox? Well, breathing fresh air is number one. Oxygen is the most universal detoxifying agent in the body. It is known as a natural free radical scavenger. Now the body is constantly generating free radicals. What are free radicals? Free radicals are byproducts of metabolism and cellular metabolism, cellular work that get broken down and become harmful to the tissues. They need to be flushed out. Now oxygen binds to many of these, transforms them into another chemical that is less harmful, and then eliminates them out. So making sure that you're getting fresh oxygen every day is super vital. If you live in a small apartment or you work in an office, you definitely want to get to the beach or the forest at least once a day to get that fresh oxygen into your system. Number two, water. Yes, water is important, but where is your water coming from? If you're gonna drink natural fresh water, the best sources of water are spring water or rainwater caught from a reliable source. Reverse osmosis water or various other forms of treated water are also acceptable as long as they're still containing minerals. Minerals are essential for detoxification and for ongoing improvement of cellular health. The best places to get your water are actually fruits and vegetables, because the water in fruits and vegetables is different in structure to tap water, spring water, river water, rainwater. Generally speaking, the water in fruits and vegetables is known as structured water. Structured water is chemically known as H3O2, meaning it has 3 hydrogens and 2 oxygens, as well as carrying a negative valency, meaning that it carries an electron, whereas your standard water, H2O, is neutral in charge. And so that form of water, which you drink, is good for flushing, but the water in fruits and vegetables is very good for restructuring, replenishing, and reordering the body, because the body is naturally 75 to 85% water. In very unhealthy, dry individuals, it can go down to 65 or even 55% water. But generally, you want to be sitting at 75 to 85% water. Detox is far more than just the elimination of toxins from your system. It is actually the restructuring, reordering, reorganizing, replenishing of all the nutrients that your body needs, as well as the tissues that become damaged, harmed, and aged over time. So your body is detoxing all the time. And every time you eat, you stop or halt the detoxification process, because eating is meant to be for replenishment. Yes, of course, there is a pleasurable aspect to eating, and that is not to say that we must detract from that pleasurable experience, but eating should also be nutritious. If you're eating purely for pleasure, you will likely not experience the health benefits of eating. If you're eating for pleasure and nutrition, you can get the best of both worlds. Fasting. There are many different forms of fasting. Typically, we all know about intermittent fasting, and that is a great way to tone the body and to take breaks between meals. But fasting can be taken so much further. You might have heard of fruit juice fasting, or fruit fasting, water fasting, and even dry fasting, being the most effective, hardcore form of fasting on the body and the quickest way to heal and cure many different diseases. No matter what kind of fasting you're doing, you're benefiting your body in some kind of way. So you want to keep a fasting regimen in your weekly or monthly regimen. The fourth aspect to detox is fruit. You guessed it. Fruit is the most detox enhancing food in nature for human beings. Why? Because it's loaded with fructose, glucose, and sucrose. These are sugars that the human body naturally needs in order to produce energy, known as ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. ATP is the primary energy molecule of the human body and is required by every single cell in the body to keep it warm and functioning. Without ATP, the cell reaches a state of very slowed metabolism, otherwise known as fatigue. This can result in general tiredness, disrupted sleep-wake cycles, irregular appetite, poor appetite, excessive appetite. Basically, your biorhythms of your body go completely out. You want to keep ATP production up, and this is where simple sugars are very important in a human being's diet. Fruits are also loaded, as I said, with structured water, and that structured water is very good at creating a firm elasticity in the body, which allows tissues to move well and to repair themselves for blood to flow effectively. There are also antioxidants in fruits that are anti-cancerous, that are antifungal, antibacterial. In the skin of fruits, the fruits protect themselves by creating an array of different chemicals that kill harmful bacteria, fungi, pests, and that protect itself against mutations as well. So much like in plants in the human body act on cancer by destroying them from the inside out. That's why fruits and vegetables are so healthy. Fruits also contain vitamins and minerals as well as a lot of fiber, so they clean you out. But they contain globular fiber, generally speaking, which means the fiber is round in structure and so it slides through the human digestive system nice and easily. Whereas the fiber of other foods, such as grains and legumes, is much sharper and can actually cut the intestine if consumed in excess. Vegetables are super high in minerals as well as fiber, a much more coarse fiber known as insoluble fiber. That's similar fiber to grains and to legumes, but generally speaking not as harsh because the fiber is contained inside the food rather than on the outside. Legumes, beans, nuts and seeds contain fiber on the outside, which is quite harsh, like a shell, very protective, and so it can be harmful to our intestines. Whereas the fiber in vegetables glides through the intestines quite easily and acts as a nice broom. So for those of you who are early on in the detoxification process, you want to consume a lot more vegetables than fruit because you need to clean out your digestive system. Another thing that vegetables do is they absorb toxins. Because they're very high in fiber, and because the digestive system is the largest detoxification organ inside of the body, whereby the human body dumps a lot of toxins, we need something to actually absorb those toxins and carry them out. Otherwise, they're just going to be reabsorbed back into your bloodstream. Vegetables are also very high in antioxidants. Antioxidants not found in fruits. These antioxidants play a role in cooling the body, reducing inflammation. A lot of the chemicals found in fruits don't do this. They don't lower inflammation, whereas vegetables lower inflammation. Leafy greens, considered a vegetable or a herb, very high in chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the molecule that makes plants green. This molecule is exactly the same in structure as the human red blood cell. The only difference is that it contains magnesium as a core instead of iron. And so greens are very blood-building foods. All the body has to do is swap out the magnesium for the iron, and voila, you have a heme molecule, the contributing factor to a red blood cell. This is great. This means that when we consume lots of green juices, we are actively building blood. Greens and vegetables also have nearly no sugars, almost no fat, but quite a bit of amino acid. And so they are bone-building, tissue-rebuilding, blood-building foods. They are not meant to give you energy. They are meant to alkalize, they're meant to remineralize, They are meant to cool, reduce inflammation, clear, and eliminate. Some vegetables contain beneficial forms of what is called phytoestrogens, or plant-based fats. These are very good for contributing to hormone production and balancing the hormones in the body, as well as providing the body with healthy fats that keep you warm in a cooler, colder climate. Herbs. Herbs are great for detoxification because they contain rare chemicals not found in fruits and vegetables. These medicinal chemicals are much stronger in eliminating organisms that have been hanging out in your body for a long time. Fungi, bacteria, parasites, even viruses that are produced by the body are effectively broken down and eliminated by many herbs. Herbs can accelerate your detoxification journey, or they can slow it down, depending on what your needs are. Herbs can stimulate a directed healing effect of various organ systems, which is very beneficial for specific diseases. Movement. Movement is super important for detoxification because it gets the blood flowing. It also squeezes the muscles as well as the lymphatic system, so it moves the lymph. The lymph is not spoken about very often in podcasts or online YouTube videos or Instagram, and yet it is the most important organ system of elimination. Otherwise known as your immune system, your lymph is considered your sewage system. In effect, you don't actually have an immune system. There's really no such thing. The immune system just means that you are tolerant to your environment, that your body recognizes you from other, and that is very healthy and important, but there's nothing you're really fighting off unless you're dying. Bacteria and viruses and fungi and parasites only really reside in unhealthy tissue. They don't reside in healthy tissue, and if they do, it is because something has gone wrong with the biology or the environment inside of the organism, the animal. They have acquired some kind of toxin or some kind of disease, or they become injured, and that injury has led to a weakness of tissue. Ultimately, we need to continually strengthen tissue in order to remain vibrant, strong, and thrive in this life. So exercise and movement is super important because it shakes things up. It throws things around. Where microorganisms might be hiding in certain parts of your body, it's going to get them shaken out of those hiding places and into the general circulation for elimination. So your lymph system can basically split into two primary functions: immune system and sewage system. It's performing these functions at the same time. In most textbooks and most doctors will tell you that the lymph system is specifically contributing to the immune system, but that is not all that it does. It's also constantly cleaning the body, and this is actually its primary function in today's society. Is we have become a society and a population and a species of very unhealthy habits, and these unhealthy habits have led to the acquiring of a lot of toxins and a lot of filth or dirt or muck, mucus, phlegm, toxins, acids in the body that the lymph system is trying to clean out. So most of the time your lymph is not actually performing an immune function. Only once you've cleaned out the body, then does the lymph system's immune system kick in and start to target the things that are not supposed to be in the body. Those being destructive bacteria, fungi, parasites, and the body even producing viruses. Although it may seem simple and easy to pick up your nearest detox supplement at your local health store, it's not really going to do much in the way of long-term health benefits. Effectively, you want to implement the previously mentioned tips and recommendations to adjusting your lifestyle to suit an ongoing process of detoxification so that you can live a long, healthy, thriving life. So there you have my understanding of what detox is really about. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below.